Today we're going to cover down on how to clean your engine and cabin air filters from K&N. So the cleaning process is fairly simple. You need to make sure that you have the right cleaning supplies, and K&N actually makes those themselves. And so right now I have the cabin air filter cleaner as well as the engine air filter cleaner from their website. And then all you need is some warm to cold water. Don't use too hot of water, and this is coming directly from the website because it could mess with the filters themselves. And so getting into this, we're going to start with the cabin air filter, and yeah. All right, so K&N states that you should probably clean your cabin air filter every 12,000 miles or so. Obviously, if you're doing more off-roading and hitting the desert and getting a lot of dust up in there, probably clean it more often. But as you can tell, I have not been doing that, and this thing is absolutely filthy. And that's on me. Don't be like me. But I mean, there's even like a moth in here. So let's tap this out. And I mean, there's more in here, but that's pretty nasty. But the other side is fairly clean. That's good, but I mean, this thing is just caked up with like hair and leaves. And so we're gonna get in here and clean this and apply some of the cleaning supplies that K&N has. Okay, so I try to get out as much as I can. There's still some in there, obviously, but next we're gonna get out the cleaner that's in here and apply it to the filter itself. So here's the cleaner. It comes in a spray bottle, and K&N says to generously apply this to the filter. So there's definitely a good amount in here, so I'm just gonna put a decent amount and go with that. And from the website, you do want to spray both sides, so just so you guys know. And don't be afraid to use this. Try to get in there and clean it up. Okay, so I'm gonna let this sit for 10 minutes, which is recommended. But if this starts drying up quicker, you don't want to let this go dry. So just check on it like every 5 minutes and see where it's at, but it just says to sit for about 10 minutes. So it's been about 10 minutes, and we're gonna go over to the hose and basically rinse this off. Now, remember, whenever you're doing this, you want to basically take the water and make sure it's either warm or cold and filter it through the clean side and not the dirty side. That way you're getting out all that debris and you're not pushing it back in. So. So just got back from rinsing this off, and I will say I'm probably going to repeat that step just with how dirty it was before. I want to ensure that it's actually clean and not dirty before I put it back in the vehicle. If you guys are doing this routinely, you probably have to do that maybe just like one time and you're set, but because of how dirty this was before, I want to ensure it's actually clean before it goes back in there. So the cabin air filter has pretty much dried out. I let it sit for about 25 minutes and it seems pretty good. From K&N, if it's a little bit damp, they said it's okay to spray on, but you definitely want to dry it out, get some of these big chunks of water out and shake it a little bit more before you do it. But this is the refresher that comes with the kit. And so they say to liberally spray it on here. So I'm gonna spray it on and then get it back in the vehicle, so. All right, so we have the cabin air filter taken care of. Now we're gonna move to the engine air filter and start using some cleaning supplies on it. So initially it's not as bad as the cabin air filter, but if you can actually see on the camera, this is still pretty gunked up, especially in this area. And we will probably do about 2 or 3 times the cleaning and rinsing. So just to ensure that this thing's actually clean, we're not putting something back in that's dirty. But right now I'm gonna get out this kit from K&N. So it should come in with the cleaner and the oil. So let's get this open. So, yep, you'll get the oil and the cleaner itself, but before we actually use the cleaner on this, we are going to shake it off like we did with the cabin air filter to get some of this debris out. Same thing as before. They say to spray both sides liberally, which just means a lot. And so we're gonna hit this front side quite a bit, as well as the back side, and then let it sit for another 10 minutes just like before, so. I will say that this cleaner from K&N does have a fish food kind of smell. Just a little fact in there for you. Not that you care or anything. So that's it. 10 minutes, we're gonna let this sit and soak into this filter, and then we're gonna go rinse it off for a little bit. But just by the looks of it, definitely going to probably have to do this another time, or at least repeat the steps again because of how gunked up it is, especially in this region. So yeah, we're gonna let this sit for 10 minutes and then get to it. This was pretty caked up. I got a majority of it out, but like I said before, I want to ensure this thing is actually pretty clean before I put it back in the vehicle. And so I'm gonna do another treatment again with the cleaner and then rinse it off. And just so you guys know, essentially the cleaner, all it does is it gets in here and it soaks up all this debris and basically will break it down. That way, whenever you rinse it off, it'll kind of just fall out. But if you have a lot in there, you might have to repeat these steps, which is okay based off what K&N is saying on the website. So I did my second treatment for this, and I'm pleased with how it's come out so far. Huge improvement from before. This is pretty much all just like black and gunky and filled with dirt and grime, and now it's pretty cleared out. So that's how it looks right now from before. But we're gonna let this dry out, so it should take around 25 minutes or so, and then when we come back, we're gonna apply the red oil to this. This is done drying now. A thing that you should know, a difference between the cabin air filter and the engine filter is that whenever you're cleaning these, the cabin filter can be kind of damp whenever you apply the refresher, but for the engine filter, you have to make sure that this is entirely dry before you apply this red oil. And that's coming from the website. I don't know exactly why, but it has to be entirely dry before you can actually do this step. So just so you guys know that. Okay, getting into this, they actually have 2 forms for this oil. They have the spray bottle and the squeeze bottle. Now, if you're using the squeeze bottle, you want to hit each pleat in here nice and evenly. And once you're done, let it sit for about 20 minutes and then go back through and hit any light areas. And then for the spray bottle, I believe you want to like basically just spray this nice and evenly from about 3 inches away. And then same thing, let it dry for about 20 minutes and then go back through and hit the light areas. So here we go. Okay, so fair warning, if you're doing this, make sure you have some kind of towel or, you know, anything to absorb this oil, because it will drain through and basically flood whatever's underneath. And so just a heads up, it's not mentioned on the website. I didn't know, but I guess I should have. Hopefully you guys won't make the same mistake, but I'm gonna let this sit here for about 20 minutes and let this oil absorb into this filter, and then we're gonna see if there's any spots I need to re-hit with the oil. All right, so this is all dried up now. It's been about 20 minutes and the coating is all evenly spread. I don't see any light spots on here. So pretty much all set for now. Gonna throw this back in the 4runner and hit the road and see if I notice a difference. Probably won't, but I will probably comment in a few weeks and see if I notice any major improvements from cleaning, because as you guys saw, the filters were both pretty dirty, so there might be a pretty good difference there.